$32 billion. That was the number attached to the empire, a crypto exchange that seemed to appear out of nowhere and conquer the world in 3 short years. Its founder was on magazine covers, on stages beside presidents and star athletes, a rumpled young man in cargo shorts who talked about giving nearly all his money away. And then, over a single week in November, the whole thing evaporated. Not shrank. Not corrected. Evaporated from $32 billion to zero, to bankruptcy, in a matter of days. When investigators finally walked into the vault, expecting to find the customer deposits that were supposed to be sitting there, safe and untouched, they found something that should chill anyone who has ever trusted a bank, an app, or a promise. The vault was empty. Billions of dollars that thousands of ordinary people believed they still owned, money they could see, glowing right there on a screen, simply wasn't there. It hadn't been there for a long time. But here's the part that should unsettle you: the fraud didn't hide in the shadows. Now look at what he actually built, because the crime lives in the architecture. There were really 2 companies wearing one smile. The first was the exchange, the friendly app where ordinary people deposited their money to buy and hold crypto. That money was supposed to be sacred, held in trust, theirs. Think of it like a coat check. You hand over your coat, they give you a ticket, and the coat waits untouched until you come back for it. The second company was a private trading firm, a hedge fund that gambled aggressively on the markets, chasing enormous profits and enormous risk. And between these two, there was supposed to be a wall. A hard, unbreakable wall. The customer's coats on one side, the reckless gambling on the other, and never, ever the two touching. That wall is the entire promise of an exchange. It is the only thing that makes handing your money to an app anything other than insane. But here's the quiet horror at the center of this story: the wall was a painting. It looked solid from the outside, reassuring, official. Behind it, there was a door, a secret passage that let the gambling firm reach through and help itself to the customer's coats whenever it wanted. The people minding the coat check and the people at the casino table weren't rivals kept apart by a barrier. They were the same people, sharing the same pocket. So what happens when a casino can quietly borrow from the coat check? At first, nothing you can see. The trading firm placed its bets using customer money as its private war chest, money that was never his to touch. When the bets went well, the illusion only grew stronger. The empire looked richer, bolder, more untouchable than ever. But markets are not kind forever. Bets soured. Loans that the trading firm had taken got called in. And to plug those holes, it reached back through the secret door again and again, until the amount of customer money quietly diverted swelled into the billions, a gap of around $8 billion between what customers were promised and what actually remained. Picture that. $8 billion that tens of thousands of people believed was sitting safely in their accounts, that had in fact been spent, wagered, lent out, poured into venture bets, real estate, political donations, and sponsorship deals splashed across stadiums and celebrities. The deposits weren't earning quietly in a vault. They were the fuel being burned to keep the empire looking invincible. And this is the trap of every scheme like this: as long as more money flows in than flows out, no one notices the vault is empty. New deposits cover old withdrawals. The machine only breathes while it's being fed. The founder wasn't sitting on a mountain of gold. He was sitting on a mountain of other people's money, and calling it his own genius. Here is the gear that should keep you up at night, because it isn't about greed, it's about deference. How does a hole this enormous stay hidden from professionals whose entire job is to look? The answer is the same quiet assumption we make every time we trust something too big to question: surely someone else has checked. The most sophisticated venture funds on earth poured money into this empire. Did they demand a normal, careful look at the books? Many barely did. Some later admitted they invested with almost no real oversight, no board seat, no serious audit, dazzled by the founder and terrified of missing out. If the giants are in, the thinking goes, it must be safe. Regulators saw a young man testifying politely before them, promising to help write the rules. The press saw the best story in finance and printed the legend. Each group looked at the others and assumed the diligence had already been done by wiser eyes. This is diffusion of responsibility on a global scale, 100 guardians watching a door, each certain it's someone else's shift. The bigger and more celebrated the empire became, the more unthinkable it was that anyone should audit it, and so no one did. The halo didn't just impress the smart money. It anesthetized it. Everyone guarded the vault by assuming it was already locked, while the founder walked through the door in the back. Every empire built on a lie carries the seed of its own destruction, and here the seed was a single document. Quietly, a financial snapshot of the secret trading firm leaked out into the open. And to the trained eyes now reading it, something was deeply wrong. A huge share of the firm's supposed wealth wasn't cash, or stocks, or anything solid. It was propped up by a token, a kind of in-house digital coin the empire had essentially invented and printed itself. Imagine a company claiming to be worth billions, but discovering that most of that wealth is a currency it prints in its own basement, valuable only as long as everyone agrees to pretend it is. The gambling firm and the exchange were leaning on the same made-up coin to look solid. It was a house of cards where half the cards were painted on. Then came the spark. The head of a rival exchange, reading the same alarming signs, announced publicly that his company would dump its holdings of that in-house token. It was a few sentences, typed and sent to the world. But those few sentences did what years of quiet warning signs never had. They made the crowd look directly at the thing everyone had been trained not to see. Confidence, which is the only thing holding any exchange together, developed a crack. And in a world moving at the speed of a screen, a crack is all it takes. What happened next is the oldest financial nightmare in existence, running at internet speed. It's called a bank run. When people suspect their money might not really be there, they all rush to pull it out at the exact same moment, and their panic becomes the very thing that destroys them. Customers by the thousands race to withdraw their deposits, demanding back the coats they checked. Billions of dollars in requests flooded in over a matter of hours and days. And there was no vault. There was no wall. There was only the shrinking pile of everyone's money, a pile that had been drained long ago through the secret door. The exchange could pay the first people in line. But the coats simply were not there for the rest. Withdrawals froze. The friendly app that had felt as safe as a bank stopped giving people their own money back. And the empire that had been worth $32 billion just days earlier began to collapse in real time, in front of the entire world, faster than anyone could type. Within a week, the exchange filed for bankruptcy. The magazine cover genius, the beanbag saint, the man who was going to give it all away, was suddenly the face of one of the largest financial frauds of the modern age. The tide had gone out all at once, and the empire was standing there naked, revealed as a whole the whole time. The following year, a court did what the halo had prevented for so long. It looked clearly at the evidence and named the thing for what it was. He was convicted of fraud, of taking customer money that was never his and lying about where it went. But the prison sentence answers only the smallest question. The real danger was never one young man in cargo shorts. It was the machine he revealed, and that machine is still running. So let's lay its gears bare one last time. Gear 1, virtue as armor. We don't audit people we've decided are good, we defend them, and a con that looks selfless is the hardest to see. Gear 2, the wall that's only a painting. When the people holding your money and the people gambling with it are the same people, your money is not safe, no matter how solid the app looks. Gear 3, the impossible glow. An empire that only ever rises, propped up by a coin it prints itself, is not a miracle, it's a warning. And Gear 4, the deadliest, someone else must have checked. The assumption that a duty shared by everyone is being handled by anyone. He didn't invent a single one of these gears. He just assembled them faster and hid them behind a brighter halo than almost anyone before him. And that's why this isn't really history. The next version won't wear his face, it'll wear whatever we currently trust without checking. So be honest with me, if a scruffy genius who only wanted to save the world had asked you to trust him with your savings, would you have spotted the empty vault, or would you have handed it over too? Tell me in the comments.